Big audition you were talking about.
It's a huge opportunity. I'm auditioning for Wonder Man.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
The trailer opens with a slow, atmospheric shot of a dimly lit Hollywood backlot, the kind filled with broken sets, old prop pieces, and abandoned costumes. A single spotlight flickers on, revealing a figure standing among these forgotten relics. He steps forward, and the trailer frames him in a close-up. Simon Williams, the man the world once knew as a celebrity, an actor, and a controversial public figure whose fall from fame was as dramatic as his rise. The voiceover plays softly, reflecting on how every hero needs a stage, but not every stage survives a hero. As the camera moves around him, fragments of his past career flash like distant memories, hinting at the complicated dual identity that forms the emotional core of this new Marvel story. The energy in the trailer shifts quickly as a mysterious burst of crimson gold light erupts from the sky and spirals toward Simon, causing objects in the backlot to rattle and shake. The scene cuts abruptly to a labyrinth cold metallic, filled with advanced machines humming with power. A silhouette approaches him with a proposition that feels more like a warning than an offer. In a montage of sharp cuts, viewers see experiments, electrical surges, strange energy readings, and Simon's body absorbing something far beyond human capacity. His transformation plays out not as a triumphant moment, but as a terrifying rebirth, with his expressions shifting between agony, disbelief, and an eerie sense of awakening. The trailer makes it clear that this isn't the traditional quest for superpowers. It's a forced evolution that carries consequences. Suddenly, the music shifts to a deep, vibrating bass as the scene changes to a bustling city street. Simon, now glowing faintly with ionic energy, moves through the world with a new awareness. Everyday sounds become amplified, lights appear too bright, and the trailer captures how overwhelming his senses have become. A brief cinematic shot displays him lifting a crushed car with ease, while struggling to control the power pulsing through his veins. This is followed by a moment of vulnerability where he sits alone in a dressing room, staring at his reflection of his face lit by the vanity mirror bulbs, the other half glowing with uncontrollable energy. For the first time, the trailer hints at the theme of identity. Is he still the man who once lived for applause, or is he something entirely different? Now, an unexpected turn in the trailer reveals an antagonist whose presence is felt before fully shown. Darkened corridors, shadowy figures, and cryptic dialogue tease a powerful enemy determined to manipulate or eliminate Simon's newfound abilities. A hand slams onto a holographic screen displaying Simone's energy readings as a voice declares that his existence threatens everything. The villain's forces appear in sleek tactical suits, using high-tech weapons that emit bursts of blue light. And viewers get several rapid-fire shots of intense confrontation scenes. Simon, still struggling with his abilities, is forced into conflict long before he's ready. One dramatic moment shows him catching an energy blast mid his entire body, flaring with ionic glow before releasing it in a blinding flash. The trailer continues with a montage, highlighting the movie's mix of action and emotional storytelling. Explosions ripple across city rooftops. Walls are blown apart by energy surges, and Simon launches into the air with a blast of ionic power that leaves swirling trails of gold and violet behind him. But the trailer balances these moments with quieter scenes, like Simon standing on an empty pier at night, watching the reflections of city lights shimmer across the water, hinting that the story's heart lies in his struggle to rebuild himself in a world that only remembers his mistakes. Another scene shows him stepping onto a film set again. But now the cameras aren't props. Real news drones hover around him, capturing his every move, mirroring his internal conflict between fame and responsibility. Midway through, the music drops completely, replaced by a single heartbeat sound as the screen fades to black. The silence builds tension before bursting into the most powerful scene of the trailer. Simon unleashing his full ionic form in a moment of complete emotional overwhelm. His body becomes a glowing silhouette, energy crackling around him like living lightning. Buildings tremble, debris lifts into the air, and the ground beneath him fractures. The trailer intercuts this display with shots of people either fleeing in fear or watching in awe, creating the first major question for the audience. Will he become a hero people admire, or a danger they fear? The final section of the trailer focuses on Simon's internal evolution. Scenes reveal meaningful interactions with key characters who challenge him, ground him, or push him toward clarity. One emotionally charged moment shows him admitting that he never asked for this power and never expected to carry the weight of people's hopes. The trailer transitions through flashbacks of his past failures, hinting at the personal demons he must confront, from betrayal to public humiliation. Yet, as the score swells, Viewers see him start to control his energy with growing confidence. His movements become steadier, his strikes more precise, and his presence more commanding. A brief smile appears on his face as he finally begins embracing what he has become. The trailer's climax is a sequence of rapid action. Shots that showcase the film's most visually striking moments. Simon charges through a wall of shimmering energy, engages in a rooftop battle lit by neon signs, and performs a gravity-defying jump that sends him crashing through a villain's airborne transport. Sparks, debris, and waves of ionic light fill the screen in a dazzling display. One particularly breathtaking shot shows him midair suspended above the city as the clouds swirl around him. His suit glows brilliantly, and the camera circles him as he prepares to unleash a massive attack. Everything in the scene suggests the high stakes of the film's final act, teasing a battle with far greater consequences than his personal struggle alone. The last lines of dialogue in the trailer carry emotional weight. Simon's voice, steady and resolute, states that for the first time in his life, he isn't performing for applause or running from mistakes. He is choosing who he wants to be. The screen cuts to black before flashing a few final shots. An explosion of ionic light, a mysterious character ready for confrontation, and Simon standing tall amid chaos as the music hits its final crescendo. The trailer ends with a close-up of his determined expression, glowing eyes piercing through the darkness, leaving viewers with the promise of a story filled with power, redemption, and a deeper exploration of what it truly means to become someone greater than the world ever expected. As the trailer fades out, the excitement for the movie grows even stronger. The visuals are stunning, the emotional themes resonate deeply, and the mix of grounded narrative with high-energy action sets the tone for a unique addition to Marvel's expanding universe. The blend of Hollywood satire, superhuman transformation, and personal rebirth gives this film a distinct identity that sets it apart from others in its genre. Fans watching the trailer can immediately sense that the movie aims to explore more than just flashy powers. It dives into the vulnerabilities of fame, the struggle to rebuild one's life, and the complex relationship between who we are and who the world wants us to be. The trailer doesn't rely solely on spectacle. It hints at the emotional layers beneath the surface. Simon's journey from broken celebrity to reluctant hero feels raw and compelling, especially as he confronts forces trying to manipulate or destroy him. The film appears poised to balance drama, humor, action, and introspection, presenting a character-driven superhero story with a cinematic style that blends realism with high-energy visuals. Every moment teased in the trailer suggests a movie filled with tension, growth, and spectacular battles that showcase the full potential of Simon's powers and the consequences of wielding them. By the end of the trailer, viewers are left with a sense of anticipation and curiosity. The tone is bold yet grounded, the visuals are dynamic, and the narrative promises depth. It leaves audiences ready for a story about a man trying to redefine himself in a world that has already made up its mind about who he is. The combination of emotional storytelling, unique character arcs, and visually striking action positions this movie as one of the most intriguing upcoming entries in the Marvel lineup. The trailer achieves exactly what it needs to do: hooks viewers, sparks discussions, and builds anticipation for a film that explores identity, power, legacy, and the courage it takes to claim your place in a world that often refuses to understand you.